Hola, soy Gaby Wall Street, fundadora de Latino Wall Street. Hoy estoy en el piso de la Bolsa de Valores de Nueva York, en las instalaciones oficiales, el corazón de las grandes inversiones, el lugar donde se construyeron las más grandes fortunas. Durante décadas nos dijeron que este mundo no era para nosotros, nos hicieron creer que invertir era complicado, que solo las élites, los billonarios podían hacerlo, pero eso terminó. La bolsa se democratizó. Hoy los latinos estamos aquí y yo, en representación de toda la comunidad latina, estamos haciendo historia, tomando nuestro lugar.
How are you? Here again, Alexis Quiñones from FinTech TV, Latino Wall Street, and InDiario. And today we have a very special guest, one of my friends, and the former Secretary of Economic Development of Puerto Rico, former Director of the Office of Reconstruction of Puerto Rico, Mr. Manuel Laboy. Manuel,
hi.
How are you? ¿Cómo estás?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity for being here with you today.
No, and thank you for being here. You know, Manuel, you've been in many positions within the government of Puerto Rico, and we've been discussing here in this space economic development of Puerto Rico, and I think that's something that you can that you know about. So I wanted to go into what do you think of the economic boom that Puerto Rico is currently experiencing in tourism? Because I think that that's an industry that is growing, and many people think that it's a very important industry for Puerto Rico. What could you tell us about that?
Well, I think that we're going through a very exciting time in Puerto Rico. And like you said, it is really an economic boom, and there are a number of factors. Number one, certainly tourism is an area that has been growing over the last few years, especially after the pandemic. Puerto Rico has been able to leverage a very consistent marketing for being a safe place that goes beyond the beaches and the sun and the beautiful weather, but also our history, culture, and everything else that we offer. And the numbers don't lie. We've been breaking records for the last few years in terms of visitors. And it's not only for the high season, it's pretty much the entire year. And I think that we are seeing an incredible numbers of key investments in the hospitality sector, but not only hotels, but also short-term rentals, combined with small businesses that are supporting that.
What percentage of the economy is attributable to tourism?
When you look at the entire spending, direct, indirect, and induced, it's around 7 to 10%, which is incredible because a lot of people think that Puerto Rico's main sector is tourism. Don't get me wrong, tourism is very important. It's growing. We're going to be receiving more visitors more than ever. But I believe that we also need to talk about what's happening in the other key sectors. And a lot of people might be surprised when they hear that Puerto Rico is a powerhouse for manufacturing, especially pharmaceuticals, medical devices, aerospace, and so forth.
Before you get into that, is it right or is it correct to say that the tourism boom that we're seeing now, it's been part of our strategy that has been developed by the Puerto Rico government for the last 12, 16 years? Could we say that?
I will say that that is true, and there was an important inflection point in 2017 when the government of Puerto Rico, actually the current president of the Senate of Puerto Rico was also the president in 2017, Honorable Tomás Rivera Chats, and they passed key legislation in 2017, including the creation of our Destination Management Organization, the DMO, which is actually known as Discover Puerto Rico. And they'd be fundamental because it's pretty much like a public-private partnership, and you have leaders from the tourism sector working together with the government, and they've been phenomenal in terms of marketing the island to a point that we see all these record-breaking numbers in terms of visitors.
So how do we go from that to reshoring, manufacturing? That's a big industry within the Puerto Rico economy.
Yes.
What percentage of the manufacturing industry, biotech, etc., is attributable to the within the economy of Puerto Rico?
Well, the number is incredible. It's about 46% of our gross domestic product, which is, our economy, is related to manufacturing. But it's not like any other manufacturing. Again, this is an advanced industry. Pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, medical devices, and aerospace and defense. Puerto Rico plays a huge role within the national security of the nation in terms of key industries like Lockheed Martin and Honeywell having a presence in the island, which supports, again, the aerospace industry, but also defense as a whole. And I believe that when you look at the latest announcements in terms of expansions in Puerto Rico, for example, recently, Eli Lilly, which is a pharmaceutical giant worldwide, just announced $1.2 billion of investment in Puerto Rico, which is, unprecedented, at least, over the last 20 years or so. And then you have another giant in the biotech industry, Amgen, that also announced recently $650 million worth of investment. That tells you that Puerto Rico not only is a powerhouse of manufacturing, but policies like the reshoring policy of the federal level, the Trump administration, it's really working very well for Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico is part of the U.S.
And I also think that the current government it's taking advantage of the Trump administration policies, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely. I think that everything that will strengthen national security, Puerto Rico has a lot to contribute to that. And one area is certainly bringing back manufacturing from foreign countries to U.S. soil, Puerto Rico being part of the U.S. and being a powerhouse of manufacturing makes a lot of sense.
Manuel, why is the manufacturing and reshoring strengthening Puerto Rico? What's the main factor for that? What do you think are the benefits that these companies are seeing in coming to Puerto Rico, to a jurisdiction as of the United States that is a territory, but still it's the U.S.?
There are a number of factors. I will say that our workforce is phenomenal. Being part of the U.S., our strategic location. But I'll tell you a very key differentiator is the incentives, the tax incentives that we offer through what is known as the Incentives Code, or Act 60 of 2019. I'm honored to say that I was the Secretary of Economic Development when it was enacted in 2019. The former governor then was crucial. The current president of the Senate, Rivera Chats, was very fundamental to pass out the legislation. And not only supports tourism, but also supports manufacturing. It supports research and development and innovation. It also supports the export services, which is very important for Puerto Rico. But it also supports startup companies and enterprises in fintech, healthcare, IT, and actually also the development of AI, which is something extremely important that Puerto Rico gets involved into that. And actually, the Puerto Rico's president of the Senate announced recently a legislation. So we want to see an institute to promote the development and innovation in AI in Puerto Rico, not only for economic development, but also for a better government, better services, a more efficient and more cost-effective. And part of that, certainly, Act 60, our incentives, play a huge role because it puts us in a position to be very competitive, to attract investment, but also support the startup ecosystem in the island.
The Puerto Rico workforce is very important in this strategy because we went from a manufacturing economy to a fintech, high-tech knowledge of the human resource capital. And I think that that's very important because we had good conditions to be in a great position to be the spearhead of the reshoring strategies of the Trump administration.
Completely agree.
But as you said, I also think that it's very important that we integrate the AI side of the equation, because we know that AI is going to be the fastest growing industry within in the next few years. So again, how do you think that everything comes together and creates the perfect conditions for economic development of Puerto Rico, and even with the reconstruction funds that are still coming into the island? How do you take that and leverage that as a good strategy for growth in Puerto Rico?
Well, you hit a very important point here. Not many people realize that we are still advancing the reconstruction of our critical infrastructure that was devastated by Hurricane Maria back in 2017, and then we have also some difficulties when we have to go through some earthquakes in 2020 and then Hurricane Fiona in 2022. But the good news is that we are actually advancing, and we are leveraging all this key investment from the federal government to have a modernized infrastructure, starting with the electrical grid. We just recently announced projects to install utility-scale battery energy storage in Puerto Rico. There are some key projects associated with natural gas in the island in terms of producing energy more cleaner and cost-effective. So it goes to the competitive base of the island in terms of attracting investment and promoting economic development. So you see all those things happening. Then you have these key initiatives like promoting a brand new institute for AI that will support research, development, and innovation in key areas, leveraging our knowledge and experience in terms of manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, biotech, just to name a few. Then you have Act 60 that promotes the export of services, and it includes, like I said, fintech, healthcare, IT, and others. AI being a glue to that, because there's no way we can expect the reality that that's not the future, it's happening today. So Puerto Rico, I think, that has all these key ingredients. Talent, you have incredible incentives, our location, our relationship with the US. We are leveraging all these federal policies in terms of reshoring, and then you have all this reconstruction happening all at the same time. It makes Puerto Rico an incredible place with exciting things in terms of what can we expect today and into the future.
I think that Senate policy that's being introduced regarding AI is very important. It's going to set the ground for other tools so that the economic development can thrive. What recommendations will you give anyone who wants to invest in Puerto Rico? Anyone interested in investing in Puerto Rico? Anyone being interested in making America great again by making products made in the USA, but in Puerto Rico? What will you tell them?
Well, first of all,
advice?
I will say that Puerto Rico is open for business more than ever. I think that these are historical moments, right, that we're going through. It's exciting. A lot of things that are converging that we haven't seen in a long time. Again, federal policies that support not only U.S. as the mainland, but also includes Puerto Rico as an important partner that we are here to work towards, supporting those policies and strengthening national security. Number one, the fact that we are finally advancing over the last few years all this federal funding to build back better our infrastructure, which is the foundation. Then you have all these incentives that makes Puerto Rico very attractive to start up or expand your business in the island, whether you want to do it in terms of technology, AI, you want to focus on fintech, you want to focus on healthcare, or you want to focus on energy. Then you have all these fundamental policies that are also happening in Puerto Rico that are aligned, with the federal policies. Our location, our great weather, our culture, our people, our talent. When you put it all together, it's amazing. I mean, imagine doing business in Puerto Rico with the great weather, 365, and on top of that, seeing all these fundamental investments and progress. I think it's very exciting.
And the fiscal benefits are just unmatched.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to ask you some rapid fire. Name one policy recommendation that you will make for Puerto Rico to continue growing economically. Just one.
Ease of doing business. We have done a lot of progress there, but a lot of work remains to be done. We've been working together for years to have a government that is friendly for capital, friendly to investors, friendly to businesses, and friendly to economic growth. And again, there's been a lot of progress there, but we need to continue working towards, a government that is really, really a partner to ensure that investments are rapidly deployed and that we support small businesses and economic development as a whole. We have to keep working with that.
One industry that you recommend students or young people to get into?
Well, I am a chemical engineer. So I will say that,
You're
yes,
biased.
I'm biased. Engineering, it's exciting. There's a lot of things that you can do, in the engineering field. But everything related to technology nowadays, of course, science and technology, engineering, and also mix it with with finance and other things that will put you in a very advantageous position to contribute to Puerto Rico.
Metrics that you think are important to measure the economic development?
Well, we have the traditional metrics. Good
No,
jobs.
give me the one that you think
have
that
investment.
it doesn't have to be. This one doesn't have to be like the traditional ones.
Well, I will say talent. We need to make sure that we continue making Puerto Rico a great place to retain our talent and to attract talent. Not only Puerto Ricans that have left, U.S. citizens as a whole, because we're part of the U.S. Any U.S. citizen that wants to see Puerto Rico as a place to live, to work, and to invest, you're more than welcome to be part of this success story.
Manuel, you are now the CEO of NovaForge.
Yes.
Can you briefly explain what NovaForge does?
NovaForge Consulting Partners is an incredible startup that we put together with some incredible talent. We are a boutique firm that focuses on economic development. Also focuses on federal funding, disaster recovery, and also energy. And we provide fundamental insights and consulting advisory services to clients, not only on the private sector, but also the public sector, federal, state, local, and also nonprofit organizations. And I think that we have a great team to support different plans and strategies to do business in Puerto Rico and leverage federal funding, leverage our knowledge with, working and navigating governmental processes. So we're excited to be your partner in Puerto Rico.
Manuel, thank you very much for being here today at the New York Stock Exchange. FinTech TV, Latino Wall Street, powered by Latino Wall Street and InDiario. Thank you so much.